Hey, we're back with Terra Invicta, going into part 2 of today's episode, and Jordan has joined us. Woo!
Ah.
So, I think let's start with Audrin, right? Let's figure out what he's been doing. So, let me figure out this in my head real quick. The only thing we do need to do before you guys go on the mission is Anna is going to have a conversation with the Blood Sisters. I think this is the point where we have to figure out right now whether or not we are the rest of this session is going to be anything about going to the Order of the Bitter Curtain mission, or if we're just staying in Calabar this session. Totally fine with either one. Just we should set that in stone now. Audrin, I guess the question really is, Jordan, do you have stuff you want to do with Audrin in Calabar?
Not off the top of my head. The one thing I wanted to do was buy pearls, and I already did that.
Okay, so I think my preference would be we skip ahead to the mission and not waste too much time with other stuff. So let's real quick do the Anna scene and then get right to some adventuring stuff, right? We can always come back to Calabar and do more.
I prepped so much, guys. Let's not waste this, okay?
I prepped nothing.
Look, we leveled 2 sessions in a row, so this is just making up for how fast we leveled.
No, it's true. Like I'm totally fine with us talking and stuff, but this is Dungeons and Dragons. I would like to do some adventuring, you know.
Ellie
so Anna,
adventured all the canals.
Yeah. Anna, you show up. I think probably you get invited to not to the dance academy. I think you get in. Nah, they wouldn't be so obvious. Okay, so it is to the dance academy. You're in. Okay. You get led to by a servant. You get led to Aurora's study. And sitting there are a couple of other, probably just one other gal, and it is the, I think you met her at the banquet. This is Saryu Mahanti, a wood elf, an Indian wood elf, and she is the ambassador for the Blood Sisters. Trying to remember if you knew that or would know that. I'm not really sure. Either way, doesn't matter super much. You're going to find out pretty quickly here. So you see Aurora, who's half elf, and Saryu, who is full Indian elf. And they're sitting, drinking some jasmine tea, talking about some things in hushed whispers, and then you're led into the room, and they both look up at you and smile prettily, and are just like, "Welcome, Anna. Have you met Miss Mahanti?" And Aurora points to the ambassador.
I think we met at the gala, but I'm not totally sure. I did meet a lot of people, so forgive me if I don't remember a lot about you.
No, that is perfectly all right, darling. Saryu says, and she just nods and says, "Please sit."
Okay, and I just collapse down into cross-legged.
Yeah, and I think honestly, it's not even it's not like a Western study, right? There's like a low table with cushions around it, right? So you could just
look. You hadn't even described that, but that's what I was picturing in my head already.
Yeah. So you just sit cross-legged around a little low table with everybody else, and Aurora kind of clasps her hands, kind of rubs them together, and then says, "Anna, I wanted to broach a topic with you. You mentioned the verdict and the Blood Sisters, the encounter you had with Sergio, where he was, being a little forward with some information that not everyone has in Calabar. What do you know of the verdict or the Blood Sisters, or?"
Well, so the verdict, I know that Mr. Braga is a part of it. And that they do stuff with magical items, apparently, because that's why he was mad at me, because I helped my friend steal one for the adamantly because she asked me to. So I don't think that the verdict and the adamantly like each other very much. And then the blood sisters sound kind of cool and possibly have something to do with here.
So do you want to make a charisma save for me, just to see how this first impression, specifically to Miss Mahanti, is coming off?
Okay. 11.
11's not super great.
No.
So yeah, you're
It's not
just
the
kinda,
worst.
you're still a dance on that knife's edge.
I know.
And so Saryu kind of gives a glance to Aurora, and Aurora like puts up a hand like, wait for it. And then Aurora looks back at you and then says, Anna, you said before when I mentioned how the dancers here are like a sisterhood. You seemed excited by that idea.
Yes, that sounds so incredible. I love making friends, and I would love to have more sisters.
And you coming from the Order of St. Cuthbert, it makes sense to me that you'd be familiar with the close relationship an organization can have.
Oh, yes. Like that's, I mean, everybody at the monastery, my brothers and sisters, but like to just be in a sisterhood with just all really talented women who all are like trying to just become better dancers, like would be really cool.
Interesting. Dancing, Anna, is not the only skill that the members of the Taventa Dance Academy can acquire if they are persistent. If joining a sisterhood interests you, and we were to offer a probationary membership among the ranks of a more advanced sisterhood than just a group of dancers, do you think you could?
Yes. Sorry.
What I'm asking is, are you willing to undergo a mission of sorts to prove yourself worthy of a sisterhood? So, and then she seems to press forward, and she's like, okay, this is the time. This is like where things are going to come down, and you're going to prove whether or not you're either good for this or bad for this. And she kind of like tentatively moves forward, and she says, I imagine, being a part of the Order of St. Cuthbert, you are familiar with the concept of justice.
Oh, yes, of course.
And that there are evil men in the world who take what they do not own and force themselves into power where they should not have it.
Mm-hmm.
Yes?
Yes.
Well, are you familiar with one Emil Dractus? Make a history check.
Okay. Yes,
19.
apparently.
Yes, you are. This is the noble, the house noble of, or the district noble, rather, of Shadowshore, the sketchy district. Emil is the only dragonborn noble in the city. People don't really like him. Let's see. The little blurb you would know about him based on the gossip of the city is the reprehensible lord of Dractus Manor and representative of Shadowshore on the Dawn Council is little better than a bandit lord. A classic example of leadership born out of the combination of money and murder. Emil liberated rule of the estate from its previous owners a few nights after the Sea Princes were driven from town, but before a citywide purge of Dragonborn could begin. So he's one of the only Dragonborn nobles, or he's the only Dragonborn noble in the city, and he managed to grasp this power because while the Muslim Corsair Dragonborn who ruled the city 10 years ago were being driven out and being overthrown overnight, this guy took over power and just kind of set himself up as the new lord, so that even when people started evicting all Dragonborn out of the city, he was like, sorry, I'm already here and I have the power to prove it. I have the thugs behind me to prove it. So Shadow Shore is being ruled by a mafia, thinly veiled as an ability. So you do know that is true. Are there any questions related to that you'd like to ask to know more? I mean, 19 is pretty good.
I
I have a
don't think
question I want to
anything.
ask.
I'm like, I don't think I would have any other information.
Yeah.
Like other than general stuff, unless he had any sort of dealings with the order for any reason. But I wouldn't.
No, I don't think you did.
that he would.
Could you put the name in the chat, Caleb?
Yeah.
Also, of the elf lady.
Emil Dractus is the Dragonborn, and Saryu Mahanti is the elf lady.
Yeah, I spelled that one right.
Nice. Congrats.
I spelled Dractus DRAC, and then I left a space because I was like, I think there might be something there. So I just filled in the space with the K.
Very nice. Very nice.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm just
so that's
kind of like, I'm familiar with him. Like I know who he is.
Good. So then you'll know he's a scoundrel of the highest order.
Yeah, no, I would say he's not a good person.
And so this is still Aurora talking, and she says, well then, Anna, the Blood Sisters also care about justice. And Emil, well, he's been deserving some for quite a while. We would like you to end him for us and for the city of Calabar.
Okay, so you would like me to kill someone who's a noble in the city as an entry level test?
Saryu smiles at that, and Aurora just nods and says, the Blood Sisters are a very elite sisterhood. Only the best of the best can move on from mere dancing to being, what would she call the advanced version, like assassin lady dancing?
Killer kicks.
Move on from mere dancing to being an artist of a different sort. A performer of a different sort. And then I think Saryu speaks up at that point and then says, he's betraying Calabar, if that helps. Selling them out to the sea princes.
I don't have a problem with killing him. I just think it's kind of wild that a job this big is the entry level test for this. I mean, I've definitely killed people before who've done bad things. Like, that's okay.
And then Saryu continues and says, are you familiar with the sea princes, Anna? You make another history check if you want to.
Okay.
Yeah, 18, about the same. So yeah, sea princes, right? Muslim, Corsair, Dragonborn. Yeah, exactly. And I'm trying to think if there would probably be an extra detail you'd get because of the 18. They all mysteriously, almost overnight, all got assassinated.
Oh.
So she asked that, and maybe Anna thinks of that immediately when they press that point.
So they asked that, and I just kind of like sit for a second and like, that was you guys?
Yes. The Blood Sisters like to have a stake in the world stage, and when things aren't going our way, when we think the world should be moved in a different direction, when we think injustices, she kind of emphasizes as she looks at Aurora, realizing that that's the tack to take with you, and she says injustices are being done. When injustices are being done, we are there to fix it. The Sea Princes were in complete control of this region before we made one move. We would simply like you to clean up something we left behind.
Okay. So I just have some like detailed questions with this.
Real quick, Anna, before you get into that, do you want to make an insight check for me? Just to like
Sure.
see how much Anna is picking up about maybe, 20? Yeah. So you can tell that they are obviously emphasizing the injustice part because they know it will play with you. You also can tell that the reason they actually want to kill this dude is because there's probably some other thing he's doing that's getting in the way of the Blood Sisters. The Sea Prince's he's a bad person thing is just the excuse.
But it's also true.
It's also true.
So
it's just not the reason
there's
they
another
want
reason.
to kill him.
Right. So it's just kind of like, I know there's another reason. But I'm like, I don't think I would be too concerned about that because, like, I want to join the sisterhood because Father Valentine wants me to join the sisterhood, and I love sisters.
Of any sort.
And yeah, sister, great.
Have a weird comet birthmark sisters, monk sisters, blood sisters. All the sisters.
Give them all to me. I collect them all. Yeah, I don't think I would have a problem with, and just like I would keep in mind that like, okay, they're keeping stuff for me, but I'm also not even a part of their sisterhood yet. So it kind of makes sense that they wouldn't tell me everything.
Yeah.
And he's a bad guy and it wouldn't be horrible. I would just kind of like, I have some follow-up questions for them. They're just kind of like, okay, so if I accept this mission, is there like a certain time frame? Because I'm supposed to go somewhere tomorrow with my friends, and then we might go somewhere else right after that. So,
yeah. So she nods and she says, "Can you give us an estimate?"
Okay. So would I be able to like give you a time estimate after we get back from? We're going to a plantation tomorrow to check out why nobody's been talking to anybody or sending out shipments or receiving shipments or anything. So we're going to check that out. I don't know how long that's going to take. So would I be able to like come just tell you afterwards that I'm back and I'm starting to work on it?
They kind of look at each other. Make a persuasion test.
Okay, well, wait.
Yeah.
If this does that pass or fail?
I think it's a barely pass.
Okay.
Like it's kind of in the middle where it's like a partial success sort of thing. Do you have a feature or something?
Yeah, I have something that if I fail a check, I can re-roll it.
Go ahead. Yeah, I'll let you do it.
Okay. Oh, no.
Do you have to take the second roll?
It doesn't say that I have to take it or I can choose. It doesn't say either.
Cool. Well, we can assume we can take the 14 then.
Okay.
Yeah, so I think she says, we need this done before the month is out. You figure out how to make that happen.
Okay. And then other follow-up question, is this like a secret thing that like I can't tell my friends about, or like can I have them help me at all? Because I know like once if I get in sisterhood, I want to say once because I feel like if I speak it, it has more chance of it happening. So that's why I was saying that. But
if claim it, girl.
Yeah. So like once I get into the sisterhood, obviously sisterhood, I'm guessing you guys kind of help each other out. So I wasn't sure if this is like, I have to prove it that I do it on my own, but that wouldn't make much sense because you have to be a team player to be good in a sisterhood.
They're like smiling at you, and Aurora says, the one thing we ask is complete discretion. If you can figure out a way to involve others on a mission on this job and it is not traced back to us, that is all we care about.
Okay. And then last question. So say I kill him and he's a bad guy. And so yay, bad guy gone. But then like Shadow Shore is kind of a shady area. Like who then is supposed to fill the power vacuum that creates?
Sarayu smiles and says, you can leave that to us.
Okay, because I don't want it to be like another bad person.
No, of course not. And with your insight earlier, it's like, in their eyes, it's certainly not going to be a bad person.
Yes. But this is a plan that Father Valentine can be told about.
Yes. I think with a 20 insight, you can tell that whoever they're going to put into place is going to be lawful.
Good for them.
It's going to be lawful, but not necessarily good alignment.
Yeah. Okay.
So there will be more order than there was before. But whether or not that is inherently a good thing,
Interesting. Okay. I think that ends my questions. Sorry. Really last question.
Speak, child.
As I'm killing him, is he supposed to know it's the Blood Sisters who are doing it?
Saru laughs and she says, "Oh, if you can make him realize just before he dies, that would be exquisite."
Okay. Got it.
And Saru looks at Aurora and says, "I like this girl already." Yeah, so we can
got it.
Cut there if you have nothing else.
No mention of the Blood Sisters until the killing blow. Got
it. Amazing. Cool. So I assume you go to Father Valentine and spill all of this?
Yes. And I'm just like, okay, gotta go to sleep. I'm going on a mission tomorrow. Bye.
Yeah, so I think the only thing he tells you is basically like, glad you told me this seems to be going exactly according to plan. We're fine with Emil dying too. That's not a problem. It's been difficult to get a warrant for his arrest or pin any crime on him anyway. So, vigilante justice, kind of in that shadowy gray area. But then he also says, "Thank you for telling me of their plans to put someone in Emil's place. I will put some things into motion. Maybe we can get someone a little bit more holy in that position."
Obviously, I'm working for you guys, but I'm trying to work for them. So if you can just make sure that if your person gets it instead, that it isn't tied back to you.
Of course, Anna. I've been doing this sort of thing a long time.
They seem kind of smart, so then they would probably be able to tie it back to me.
And he puts
and
a hand
the verdict is already kind of out for me too.
Puts a hand on your shoulder and says, "Anna, I am not trying to brag here, but I'm a smart man too. I can make my own moves."
Okay.
He starts dancing.
Cool. Awesome. So yeah, unless there's anything else you guys want to finish in Calabar, we can start figuring out next steps.
Plantation.
I'm wondering if I should probably check on. Audrey needs to go check on what's his name.
Go check on what's his name.
Juno.
Yeah, Juno. Yeah. How about you make an investigation check for me?
Oh yeah.
Let's see if
He's
you can
fighting in a sword war.
I know. Let's go ahead and see if you can track down Juno. Investigation. 18. Okay. All right. All right. Let me grab this magazine again here. Let me flip through the adventure, see where at what part of the adventure he's probably at.
It's only been a day, but
okay. So you track him down to a bathhouse in Calabar. It's called Feather Whispers. From the outside, Feather Whispers has front double doors that are inviting, several rooms that have large windows with open shutters. You can see through a couple of the windows, there's a spa inside, obviously, that's well lit by like magical flame. And you seem to hear this kind of calming, relaxing, soft music playing inside, but you can't see where it's coming from, so it might be magic too. You're not sure. But you track him down and you see that he's sneaking into the place with Saberhawk in hand.
I want to sneak up on him, and then while he's really intense focused on whatever, I want to whisper behind him, "What you doing?"
Oh my gosh, what are you, Aldrin? Don't do that. Saberhawk said he almost killed you.
So, what are you doing in this bathhouse, sneaking around? Like,
This is where the Cabanites are. They're trying to destroy some of the Oquans.
in a bathhouse?
Yes, so you see, okay, let me fill you in really quickly. No, Saberhawk, it will only take a second. Just shut up. And then he like leads you into the darkness of an alley or something, and he's like, okay, listen. Saberhawk informed me that there's some Cabanite agents who managed to kill some of the Oquans, capture their swords, and their plan is to encase these magic swords, which can't really be destroyed very easily, in these like mud, in some like really hardened mud. There's like a section of the bathhouse that's going to be closed off for reconstruction, and they're going to encase them in this like in these baths, right? In this like hardened mud, use magic to harden it, encase them in basically tombs, right? And then when the construction finishes, that entire section will be sealed off, and no more Oquans. They don't know where they're going to be. I'm the only one who knows about this. Saberhawk, if I die, this could be really bad. The Oquans could be finished.
Yeah, if you died, wouldn't that be really bad?
Yeah, so that's why you should help me so I won't die.
But what if we both die? Then there's nobody to even take up the legacy.
How could we? You and me and Saberhawk? Give me a break, Godard.
Need I remind you that his last owner bit the dust?
Well, that's because he was being attacked by Zarina Valora. She's like the head honcho of the other side.
And how do you know she's not in there?
That punch really set me.
I don't.
And do you really think that you and me and your magic little sword that couldn't even protect his last host is going to be able to take down this head honcho and some goons?
Saberhawk says that the head honcho is probably not there. She's probably out doing something else. She's very important. She wouldn't hang around here. It's just going to be lackeys.
If she's so important, then why was she after this sword in the first place? Does that mean that this sword is super important?
Oh, well, Saberhawk seems to think so, but I'm pretty sure all of the swords think that of themselves, so...
At least he's that aware.
Yeah.
All right, look, I just wanted to check in on you, make sure you're still alive and you're not doing anything dumb.
No.
At least one of those things is true. Also, do you mind if I just... Oh man, how is Audrey going to play this off? I need to do this ritual so I can identify the sword.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm trying to think of how...
I mean, you could literally just say, let me buff you before you go in, right? It'd be a lie, but...
Well, yeah, see, that's the thing. I'm like, am I even good at lying? That would be a no.
If you're referring to the map of Calabar, for reference, Feather Whisper's bathhouse is right here. In the Merchant District. Right next to Vanderboren Manor.
Honestly, I probably saw him on the way over.
Yeah, right. You're just like, what is he?
It's like he honestly.
It's on Vine Street.
Audrin probably thought he was trying to
break in,
peek in on some people.
Oh yeah, it is a bathhouse.
That's what I'm saying. Now that I know it's really just for the sake of bloody murder.
That's fine.
Okay, so yeah, I think I might just have to.
So keep in mind, Audrin, you are right next to Vanderboren Manor. If you would like to go get the rest of the party, you can do so. Like, if you want to be like, Juno, listen, you're not going to be able to survive on your own. Let me go grab the others, and we'll help you. That's also an option.
I'm just not sure if I want to rope the rest of the party into this.
Yeah, I'm just saying, I just realized how
Yeah, I
close it
know.
was to the manor, so it's, totally an
Yeah.
option here.
Yeah. That's true. I was taking way too much damage right after that.
Okay, wait a second.
That is a new one.
No, I have to, okay, so basically I'm trying to figure out a justification to be able to touch the sword for 1 minute.
Yeah, I mean, you're going to have to lie and say you're buffing it, right? I don't think that there's another way.
Well, I mean, I couldn't say something like, I just want to understand more about the sword.
You could, but Saberhawk will also hear
Can
that.
I cast a spell on the sword that would help you, Juno?
Again, that's still a
Yeah.
deception
All the truth.
territory. Nah, that's not what that means.
Actually, I mean, yeah, it's like, what if Audryn said, I want to help you I want you to have the best shot at doing this stuff as you can get, so I want to use identify so you know everything about the sword you possibly can.
Still deception because that's not the reason you're doing it, right?
I mean, that's not the reason player Jordan is doing it, but that might be the reason Audryn's doing it.
Did Audryn make an insight check of any sort to figure out what was going on here?
No.
Okay, then I believe that. Yeah, for sure. Go ahead and make a persuasion check then.
Okay. Because I'm like Audryn had no idea about anything.
It was obvious to us as the audience, but
yeah. Well, even to me at first, it wasn't that obvious. It was a little slow to pick up. Yeah, I'm like, the only potential justification for persuasion I could think of is like, hey, Audryn knows him. And it's like, I don't know. But I don't think. I'll just roll.
yeah, I don't think you could have gotten advantage on that just because of the situation. So 9 is not good enough, and I think we see it's not quite the Bilbo tries to go for the ring moment, right? Where his face gets all wild, but you can definitely see that there's like a hint of that where he just like immediately like jerks the sword away and then just like shakes his head. I'm sorry, Audryn. I trust you, of course, but Saberhawk is a little bit less trusting than me.
It's not letting me walk on yet. Yeah, it happens to me a lot. It's mod.
Okay, so I think Audryn would say, wait, let me, trusting of what?
Well, I don't know. I guess he thinks that you're going to try to do something to the sword, or maybe you just don't know what you're doing and you're going to hurt him somehow. I don't know.
It's a super powerful sword. How in the world am I going to hurt it? He said it himself. He's like super strong sword of and these things can't even be destroyed very easily and disposed of. Like, what am I going to do?
Yeah, and so we see him obviously listening to the sword for a second, and then he turns back and he says, I'm sorry, Audryn, I'm gonna have to ask you to leave.
Oh man, I forgot to pick up my rails too.
Okay. This is the part where I probably should try to knock him out and then bring him to the manor.
Yeah.
Well, this should be interesting.
Actually, what am I saying?
I was like, I've never had him head on.
Unless there's a thing that makes it so he can't be he can't lose the sword while he's holding it. That's my only concern.
Try to steal it.
Well, I can slide it. I can probably sleight of hand it from him.
Mm-hmm. Certainly
Would
attempt
that
to, at
be
least.
sleight of hand?
Huh?
I think so. Yeah.
Okay.
Obviously, Juno would notice, right? But the idea is, can he get it away from him surreptitiously?
Well, I mean, if I can get it, if I can get it away and replace it with a crappy rapier for just
a
for
long
a
enough you
moment.
can get away. Yeah. Okay, your difficulty is a 9 because he got a perception of 9. Yeah, you're totally fine. So we can tell that Juno's so distracted by what's happening to him.
Replace it with like a balloon sword.
I think you probably just like.
Oh, but that's terrible though, because then he's gonna go in with no.
Yes.
Does he notice sooner than that though?
Well, no. So the issue is then the influence is going to be. Well, no, he's still attuned to it. But he's still, he's going to go after the sword as soon as he realizes.
Yeah.
Isn't the sword just going to go, stop?
No, he definitely is. Yes.
Yeah.
So this is basically Audrin manages to do it in such a masterful way that he's like around the corner before Juno comes to his senses.
Audrin can fly.
Also true. So Audrin is Peter Pan's away.
All right, and while as I'm Peter Panning away to the manor, I would like to use identify.
Yeah, sure. So you just know all the properties?
You learn whether any spells are. Okay, hold on. You learn its properties and how to use them, whether it requires attunement and how many charges it has, if any. You learn whether any spells are affecting it and what they are. If the item was created by a spell, you learn which spell created it. Yeah.
Of note, it does not reveal that it's cursed.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So you can't tell that, but it's made of silver. So it has properties you could use on werewolves and stuff. It is a +3 short sword of something. Let's see. I gotta find the 5e version of this.
I mean, look, if we can get a remove curse cast on it, then you get a +3 sword.
Actually, wait, can I? No, I can bestow curse.
You can only giveth, you cannot taketh away.
No. Cost 250 gold to remove the curse.
Oh, let's pay it if we can get it there.
Because that's how much it took me to remove my curse.
There's also a possibility that with identify, like there might be lore things that I discovered that might hint at the curse.
I mean, you already know lore.
Okay, so it's not +3. It is a +2.
Oh.
Basically, it functions as a scimitar of
garbage.
speed. Functions as a scimitar of speed. You gain +2 to bonus to attack and damage rolls made with his magic weapon. In addition, you can make one attack with it as a bonus action on each of your turns. So,
okay,
yeah, 2 attacks automatically every round with it. So, but yeah, that's the sword is obviously yelling at you. And it's just like, unhand me, you villain! Why don't you bring me back to my rightful owner, the person who actually cares about our conflict? What do you say? Or do?
I'm trying to think of how Audrin would say this.
Right?
Yeah. Probably something along the lines of, I'm sorry, what was that? It's a lot harder to understand you without that mouthpiece of yours.
He's silent for a moment, and he just says, you know nothing of what you speak. Do you want your neighborhood watch to rise again, Audrin? Well, then you need me. You need the Oakwans. We can make the neighborhood watch better than it ever was before.
Oh,
and Audrin, that's like Audrin chuckles at that. It's like, see, that's where I'm gonna have to disagree with you. See, the neighborhood watch is just like Juno said, dead, and for good reason.
Well, you'll be dead when I get through with you. I mean,
I think I forgot to send the thing back.
I'm sorry. What was that? Would you like to carry on? Would you like to continue this? Actually, I have a really great priest friend who I think might be very interested in having a word with you.
Where would it be limited at this point?
Huh?
Would it be omitted at this point? I mean, you're right by the manor. Where are you going?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, are you going to the manor?
Yeah, I would go to the manor and tell the party, it's like, hey.
Yeah, so Audrin walks in. Let's say you guys are just hanging out in the dining room or whatever, just lounging, maybe reading books or whatever. Maybe Anna
Kelly's
just
still
walked
wrapped
in
in
from a
blanket.
dance lesson, sweating. Audrin walks in and just holds up a magic sword.
Wait. What kind of magic is it?
Whatever a scimitar speed would be. I don't know.
Okay.
Transmutation maybe. I don't know.
Transmutation. It smells green. I forgot you guys didn't know magic has smells.
Yeah. I don't know what green smells like, but
It smells like transmutation.
Oh, come on. You know what green smells like. Green has a smell.
there are different green things that have different green smells.
It's like a synesthesia thing. It just smells green.
Okay, so Audrin explains that he found it in this weird conflict that he noticed, and then he gave it to Juno for temporary, so he wouldn't have to think or worry about that for a little while. And then he went to check in on, or then he noticed Juno being weird, and then he basically just explains everything to the rest of the party.
Would Juno be at the front door?
That's true. He probably knows where this is. He's gonna be here shortly.
Yeah, I know. That's and so after explaining so here's what we probably need to do. Number one, we need to knock him out.
Let's all go to the door, go hide behind the door frame, and then jump him.
I mean, basically, yeah.
Yeah. You muted
He's
Alyssa.
kind of
never mind.
what? I mean, just because this, okay, so there's sword going on with these wars, who's to say that the sword is wrong?
Yes, that's right. I'm not wrong.
I mean, Takeaway doesn't know the whole situation,
yeah.
so she's just
The Cabinites are dangerous.
So are you.
Well, yes, but that's because I'm awesome.
Do you really believe your own hype?
I am the hype.
Thank you, Sam.
He says, yes. Yes.
I had to think about it for a second. Okay, and the closing point I make about okay, I might be more inclined to believe it if it weren't for the fact that this sword is trying to start up the neighborhood watch, or is trying to justify starting up the neighborhood watch, and I mentioned that Juno was dead ready to just drop the whole thing and walk away from it altogether, and now the sword is talking about doing it. So the sword's obviously been influencing. And the other thing was, I mentioned that the sword threatened to kill me.
Ellie has an idea, but it's a horrible idea.
Look, I mean, I trust you. I'll knock Juno out if he comes knocking at the door.
Yeah, I could put him to sleep.
Oh, okay, random question, Caleb, but in case it comes up, how big is this sword?
It's a short sword.
But how
Could Deli eat the sword?
You were in the circus. Has she sword swallowed before?
Caleb was just
how could you not?
Yes,
how did you not see this coming, Caleb? Because If we need to get rid of the sword, there is a very clear route. I
There's a
just
roll
don't know
here.
if it's reasonable that I could do it.
Can you inspire Deli? Can you inspire
To be
bardic
fair-
inspiration for sword swallowing?
Given my backstory, I've technically probably swallowed worse.
I know. We've already established in the fiction that you've swallowed everything in half.
Oh my
I'm
god.
sword
literally a
swallowing
magical garbage
is literally a
disposal.
thing that happens in circuses. So.
Yeah, exactly. Oh my gosh, Deli, eat the sword.
boy.
Eat the sword. Eat the
Oh,
sword. Eat the
boy.
sword.
You could roll to try it. Certainly.
Okay.
But no, do we want to though?
Yes.
I
I
kind of want
want
to see
you
what
to.
happens.
Okay, so
Audrey, do we need
okay.
to
Does
destroy
Deli
the sword?
say this?
Audrey, do we need to destroy the sword?
Destroy?
You know,
No, of course not. Listen, Audrey, I was just saying things before when I said I would kill you. I just need help, okay?
Kill you with love.
Okay, this is one of those moments that I really, really, really wish that D&D had save states.
Do we have Deli eat the sword? Okay, save now. We need to have another option here if this goes wrong.
I'm ready to reload if necessary, but turn autosave off.
One of these days, I do want to do at least a short-term campaign with that as a feature where you can literally say we save here and then
Save state.
I want to have that be a part of a game.
You get one save per session, kind of a thing.
Well, I think it would be like an isekai. You go into a video game thing, right? And then it's part of the game already, right?
So no,
Continue.
do we?
Do we need to destroy the sword?
No.
I'm leaving this up to you, Jordan.
I vote no.
Audrin believe the sword needs destroyed.
You're pounding on the door. Audrin, I know you're in there.
Hi, Juno.
Okay.
I'm indecent. I'll be there in a second.
Okay.
Sorry.
I need party vote here. What do you guys want to do? Because I don't want.
I want Deli to eat the sword.
Okay, so I think
Up to you, because I'm indifferent.
Okay,
This is just a thing.
Wait. If it's party vote and Seth is technically indifferent, then that means there's 2 for and 0 against at this point.
She's
So.
not wrong.
Okay, so here's what I think.
I'm leaving it up to Audrey.
Here's what I think. I think Deli says, "Do we need to destroy the sword?" And would Audrin understand exactly where she's going with this? Would
You
Audrin
can roll insight.
Yeah, let me roll
Yeah.
insight.
Yeah, that's a
Yeah,
7.
Audrin's not.
Maybe Audrey. What would Audrey say? It says do we need to destroy the sword?
It's yeah, but it's really hard to destroy apparently, and I don't know. something
Audrin.
about- What?
This is me you're talking
Oh, and then he just tosses Deli the sword.
Now, listen, I don't know what you're going to attempt to do, but I must say that I'm a very powerful magic item, Deli, if that's your name, and I can give you
What do I got to roll
amazing
today,
power.
Caleb?
Takui is going to be like, Deli, if you're going to do this, please just make sure that you're careful with doing this. I'm sure you have
I've done
experience,
this
but
before.
just be careful, okay? And I give her a bardic inspiration.
Yes. Yes.
Does Bardic Inspiration work on a save?
Oh no.
I think so. Yeah, you can roll
Let
on
me
the save.
check.
Can you?
Let me check.
Oh, maybe.
Yeah,
I
go ahead and check.
think it does, but let me just double
Because
check.
I think the thing we're rolling here is a Constitution save, right?
I can't cast guidance on myself because that is for an ability check.
Maybe that's what I'm thinking about instead of Bardic.
You can use Bardic for a death save. We've done that before.
Saving throws as well. Yes.
Okay.
Constitution save?
Yep.
Okay, I'm not amazing at these, but with Bardic, I think this is possible.
Do you want to try to
Deli-
lobby for advantage?
Yeah, you know what? Because let's give some backstory. Can I give the backstory of the first time that Deli?
He's already given a ton of his backstory this session.
Okay,
Oh, that's
we-
true. You know what? Yeah, go ahead and take it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, then. Con save. Here we go. First sword swallowing.
19.
Let's use
All right,
it.
plus 30.
Let's just roll
You
this.
might as well
D6.
use it.
What if the DC was 20 and now you have a 20?
Yeah, it's a 20. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that makes sense. So,
Can I say how
Deli,
Deli does?
this
Or-
changes you.
Oh no!
You
That's
do
what
it,
I was
but
worried
this,
about, but I really want to see what it is.
this changes you. So let me find the like.
Oh wait, guys, wait! I just rolled 1D. I didn't roll a 1D6.
Oh.
Oh.
Wait. 4, so 23.
Yeah.
I just typed 1D.
Let's see.
I knew that this was going to change Deli somehow, but I'm really excited.
Here's
I don't know if it's going to be good or not, but I'm
If anything,
excited.
this might cause a surge.
Here's my immediate question.
Mhm.
Does this automatically end attunement?
I think it does. Yeah.
No, it does. Yes.
It gets destroyed.
I just kind of go, okay,
Juno's like,
Juno,
what
we're all good
the
now.
So,
So-
first thing, Deli, I want you to roll a D100 for the Wild Surge. We'll let
Yeah,
that
it makes sense.
go off first. Yep.
It makes sense that this would surge. 18.
18. All right. You exhale a cloud of poison mist from your mouth, dealing 3d6 poison damage to all creatures in a 15-foot cone, and poisoning creatures that fail a Constitution saving throw for 1 hour. Everyone, you take
Oh, you're rolling it.
3d6 damage.
I can deal with poison.
You said we roll Constitution, or we just
Yeah.
all take that?
Constitution save to not get you
Another.
poisoned. You still get to take the damage no matter what. Yeah, I think you guys are fine on the save. So everybody takes 13 poison damage. And then go ahead and
Darius is poisoned.
roll another D100 for me.
Use it, Darius. Oh.
Sorry.
Audrey.
Audrin.
Yeah, so Audrey, you're also poisoned. It only lasts for like an hour, right? I think. That's
And
what
do
it
you
says.
another D100?
Yeah, roll another D100. 24. Okay, let me look at the options here.
What a great swerve for the campaign.
Oh, what a crazy moment, right? Like Deli like swallows a sword and then like takes a moment, like feels some indigestion, and then like burps up a bunch of poison.
I mean, I've done that before. It's not too weird.
I think
Not
Audrey.
pleasant, but it's
I know
I
it's just
think
like it's
Audrey
just like
just
that
goes,
moment, like in Shrek, right after he takes the poison, and then it's like this like big buildup of like something happening, and then all of a sudden it's just I'm like, Deli.
Yeah, I think Audrey goes, next time we have you do that, remind me to take a couple steps back.
All right. You now have a indefinite madness flaw.
oh no.
Oh no.
Roll again, or
I am
I think that's what I did
no,
roll.
that's
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
So I was looking at the different tables of madness here to see what was interesting, and yeah. You have this flaw. I am convinced that powerful enemies are hunting me, and their agents are everywhere I go. I am sure they're watching me all the time.
I already thought that.
But now it's even worse.
But now it's worse because you really you like inherit kind of internalize the ongoing secret war happening with these two magic item cadres, and basically for Deli it's like her enemies, right? That's what she's thinking about. But like you were believing like basically everything about your like secret enemy thing gets hyped up to 1,000,000. You're convinced now that Diamondback was lying to you, and Davenport's still alive. He's out there somewhere. He's gonna get me. Like it's this whole big conspiracy thing is now starting to appear in your mind, and you can obviously decide what the direction that takes specifically. But everything about Deli's backstory is now coming back to her with paranoia.
That makes sense given what happened earlier.
I'm sorry, Seth.
No, it's fine. I mean, is this
That's
the kind
just
of
what
thing?
you offered. I never would have thought of it.
Is this the kind? And also, we got to break Caleb. That was hilarious.
I got the clip for tonight. So
is this the kind of thing that we could eventually heal? I guess in
it
that
can be
sense?
cured. Yes.
Okay.
Is it in
Then
a
that-
sense like another curse?
It's I think pretty much it's just a curse.
So we'll I think
But I don't think Deli understands that's what's happening to her until
Right.
she figures out, like, acts out on it and, like, is like, oh, wait.
Look, the easy solution is we just get Dilly to swallow soap because you use soap to take care of cursing.
Yeah. There you go.
Just wash out her insides.
I will say that was pretty funny.
Yeah, so Juno comes in and he's just like, where's the sword? Where's Saberhawk?
Even though he's unattuned now?
Yeah, it's just kind of like vestigial, whatever.
Deli goes, who's Saberhawk?
And we probably just cut the scene right there, right? Because you guys explained to him. And eventually he comes to his senses and he's like, oh man, I was controlling my mind. But then, like, you guys are still talking and he's like, what are we going to do about this? There's like a cadre of magical weapons controlling people into fighting for them.
Well, you could go with your original plan and go storm the castle, the wet and
The bathhouse.
yeah. I was trying to figure out a weird way to say bathhouse without saying bathhouse. Yeah, but Audrey's just like, well, you could go storm the bathhouse like you originally planned if you are, confident in stepping into this war.
Not really. I mean, I don't have a super powerful magic weapon now, so.
Oh.
Aren't you super strong and powerful?
Well, yes, but they all have magic weapons. I don't have a magic weapon.
Oh,
Is that our plan? Are we just going to have Deli eat all of these things?
I mean, that one kind of went down a little weird. I'd prefer if we don't, but
I guess we
Yeah,
could just leave it. Saberhawk was saying the Aquans were on the run. Maybe we just let the Cabanites win and see how bad it is?
I would probably do some more research about this whole war. I mean, like, who's to say, like, if the Cabanites are the bad ones, or if they're both bad, or if they're both good and just misunderstood.
Yeah, why don't you start trying to gather information about that?
I can do that. Are we just going to let things lie as they are for now, though, while we research?
I think that's probably best. You might even, in case you've made some unwanted enemies in recent times, you might also lay low for a little while.
That's basically my default state, so yeah. I'll do that.
That's a good point. But also, report back regularly.
Of course. Can I borrow one of your guys' Adamant League signet rings? The research there is going to be valuable. Or you can put in a good word for me. I don't know how this works.
Yeah, I guess it's like,
I mean, you can go
why
join.
don't you just join the Adamant League? Like,
Yeah.
that would...
Audrey, I already told you I'm not... I don't know if I'm ready to be part of another group like that, especially after what just happened with Saberhawk.
See, and Audrey puts his arm over and like starts whispering to him. See, that's the beautiful thing about the Adamant League. You're not really a part of anything. You're just kind of there.
Do you want to make a persuasion check to see if he'll take that?
You just kind of read books next to other people reading books.
It's like an independent study. You're not really going to classes. You're just kind of...
You go as far as you actually want to go with it. Which actually I need to probably start doing more stuff with, but that's beside the point.
Takeme's probably like, well, actually, speaking of that, I have a mission.
Actually, this one's for the better curtain, but actually, I do have another one.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yes.
I
I have 2 missions currently.
would like to barter for advantage because the last time
What are you
I
willing to
tried
give me in trade? 2 chickens?
My soul.
Very good.
Yes,
My soul for
Well,
advantage.
I could pipe in and just be like,
I would
it's
like
true.
to
I mostly
give-
just go to do research as well.
there we go.
I do a mission here and there, but they don't seem to be. They're not very pushy for missions. You take what you want.
Yeah, that works.
Okay.
Go for it. 13 is not good enough. So he just pats you on the shoulder and he says, I appreciate the effort, but can I borrow a signet ring?
Not from me.
It's not like you guys are going to be in the city anyway, right? You're going on a mission.
Like, I know, but I don't know how I feel about him
okay,
impersonating an Adamant League member to go do. I just don't feel comfortable with it.
It's like you just told me. You just told me to lay low. What am I supposed to do?
Yeah, he's got a good point.
Do you want the research to be as good as possible or not?
I want to do. What would it be, like a wisdom save? A history check? Like, how would I know, like, if this is a no-no from the Adamant League?
History is fine, yeah. Seems fine to you. Seems totally fine.
I hate my life.
Crit fail.
You're gonna get reprimanded later.
You're gonna get in trouble.
Oh, you're gonna get it. I told you not to do it, Audrin.
Whatever.
Can I make like can I like as I see like Audrin like do it? Can I like put like my hand on top of like the signet ring and be like, Audrin, I really don't think you should be doing this.
Oh, she would have extra influence over him right now too.
Mm-hmm.
No.
And I just touched your hand.
Ooh.
Constitution check.
Can I make like persuasion?
Yeah.
Okay. Caleb, are you okay with like changing the course of like? Okay, if
that's
like
fine.
I just want to make sure I don't want to like.
Yeah. You made it clear.
You
made it clear that Takui feels strongly about this. So yeah.
Okay. 21.
Okay, I'm just gonna
especially because we have the foreshadowing of Audrin now has feelings for Takui. I think.
Yeah, exactly.
Would it be con save or charisma save?
What are you trying to do?
Do you need to save against it, or does that just persuade you?
I'm doing a Constitution save to see whether or not Audrin is visibly blushing.
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah. I feel like that's con.
If it's under a 10, then he is most definitely blushing. Otherwise, he's holding it in.
Go for it.
Okay, he's just internally screaming.
Can I make an insight check against your Constitution?
Yeah,
so
no.
Let's do it a different way then. Audrin, make a deception check. That's actually
okay.
Okay. All right.
Oh!
Okay, Alyssa, still roll. What if you crit?
No.
I have no idea.
Dang.
I wouldn't have made the con save anyway, so darn it. You're not blushing. You're just
Audrin
really
is a master of his own emotions.
He has to be.
Yeah.
After the trauma
but I do convince you.
Yep. Yeah, Audrin's just like, yeah, okay. I won't give it to him. Sorry, man.
He shrugs. He's like, all right, well, I guess I'll use Lavinia's library. Is that fine?
I don't think Lavinia would have a problem with it. I also don't think the Adamant League would have a problem with you going in for like a day if you want to.
I want to lay low. I don't want to go in there if someone's going to notice me.
Yeah, that's fair.
Shrugs.
That's your choice.
I would start here.
Can I go to the Adamant League and see if I can find any books for him and bring him back here?
Yes. I feel like that kind of negates every role we've just done.
I feel
up to
like
this point.
the Adamant League is the kind of people who are like, you read here and you don't check out books.
I think we said that
you
already.
Read there.
Yeah. I think we already specified that.
I do have a question. Is there maybe like a way that thieves guilds would have access to like a thieves guild library or something like that, or like interconnections where it's like people have a way to get information like this that Audrin might know of? Could I do like a history check for that sort of thing?
I don't think so. I feel like at this point we just need to let it go and have him go do his own thing, right? Like we've made a bunch of rolls already for it, so
yeah.
Fair.
Did Audrin ever pass along his message to me?
Which message is that?
Oh, he did. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't remember what message that was. What was it?
It was the
really
one.
Pretty.
Oh, right. Yeah. From Gino. Yeah.
I was like, I can't remember if he actually passed it along.
He did. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, cool. I mean, I guess we probably just end there.
Okay, wait.
I don't know how we go
If
from
Juno's
here.
gonna like leave and we're ending there, then I would just like go up to Juno and I'd be like, you're handsome in sort of a crazed way. Right now, at least.
Make a charisma save.
6
Oh my-
goes across very badly.
He just is
She
confused,
is
right? He
not
doesn't
as
remember.
charismatic as a Baptist.
because of the whole like getting his brain controlled by a magic sword. He just doesn't remember that he ever like had Audryn make a message, so he's just confused. And he just says, "Thanks," and then he walks away. Yep. There you go. Well, cool. Let's go ahead and end there. I pretty much knew this was going to happen, but it's fine. It's fine. I really like
Including Jelly eating the magical
No,
sword.
I didn't know that was
That
going to
was
happen.
completely unaccounted
That
for.
was pretty amazing.
I'm very pleased with how this session panned out. So.
Yeah.
I'm a little worried about Deli, but I think it completely makes sense given the context of the story.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, we'll talk more about that in the after show. We'll go ahead and end
start
here.
plantation.
Yeah, plantation will be next time. Which is fine because then I can actually prep for it. I had some ideas, some general ideas, but I was gonna kind of wing it, map and encounter wise. But yeah, I'm excited for next week. We're all still good for next week, right? Everything good? Cool.
Yep.
Sounds great. We'll be back next week for Terra Invicta. If you are a patron, you can check out Patreon for an after show. Right after this, we're gonna record that. So here we go. We are out. Bye.
Bye.